Shane Van Gisbergen is looking for win number 4 on the season, and we are on championship case number 4. And what? He what? A contract We're about to do the championship case for him. Can he wait like that? Okay, I guess we're doing this now. Alrighty then. I don't know if this is worthy of it, but sure, why not? Play the song. Four-time NASCAR Cup Series winner Shane Van Gisbergen, who stunned the NASCAR world back in 2023 when he won in his first Cup start at Chicago, made the transition to NASCAR, made it to the Cup Series, and now has signed a multi-year extension with Trackhouse Racing. Trackhouse just about 20 minutes ago posted this tweet saying, "News, multi-year contract extension for SVG. The winningest foreign-born driver in NASCAR history will remain in the house for years to come." And then in a press release, SVG said, "I feel like Trackhouse Racing is my home. Trackhouse gave me the opportunity to race at Chicago in 2023. That was just a one-race deal, and everything that has happened since then is because of the chance Justin took on me. The men and women at Trackhouse have helped me feel at home in this new challenge, and I've been loving every minute of it. We still have a lot of work to do, but I couldn't be happier." Then Justin Marks, team owner of Trackhouse Racing, he said, "We are getting to watch one of the superstars of racing. What we are asking him to do carries a high degree of difficulty. He's moved to the other side of the world, learned a new form of racing, and at times dominated the competition. He's one of the greatest." So Shane Van Gisbergen, who came over here, as I said, in 2023, made a couple of road course starts, but then he made that first oval start in the Truck Series at IRP. Decided to take a developmental deal with Trackhouse, spent 2024 as a full-time Xfinity driver, won 3 races in that series, while also running a part-time Cup schedule. After they announced that he was going to be a full-time Cup Series driver in 2025, they decided to add some more ovals to his schedule to get him more accustomed to the Cup Series car because of how much different the Cup car is compared to the Xfinity car. Then moving on to 2025, his rookie season in the Cup Series. It's had its rough moments, yes. You look very early this season. Trackhouse was off in terms of speed, but SVG, while Trackhouse as a whole, they were never qualifying well. SVG had a few races that he didn't do great at, that they had a little bit of a slump. But as I said, Trackhouse as a whole was in a slump. But starting around April is when things kind of turned around a bit. SVG was in the top 20 a lot more consistently at the ovals. The qualifying efforts were much better. Qualified 11th at Indy a few weeks ago. And then the road courses. We already know what SVG can do on the road courses, all right? Like that. Do I need to go more into it? He kind of just drop kicks the field in the face at the road courses. But the ovals are the big part of this. His improvement on the ovals. We saw it late last season in the Xfinity Series. Early on, he had a couple of big moments. The 3rd place at Atlanta, the 6th place at Phoenix. For the most part, was top 15 to 20. But later in the season, he was consistently running on pure pace in the top 15 and even at times in the top 10. In that fall Darlington race, scored a 7th place finish, a top 10 at Kansas in the fall. So as the year went on, he was getting much better at the ovals, and not necessarily just one type. You know, the super speedways are usually the easiest for a non-NASCAR driver to adapt to, but also the intermediates. I referenced Kansas and Darlington. The short tracks, Martinsville, he had a really good race in the Cup Series there last fall, finished 12th. But the ovals are a completely different animal to anything he has ever done. And really, it's a completely different situation compared to a normal rookie, compared to a Riley Herbst this year, for example, compared to another rookie like last year when we had Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, Carson Hocevar, guys who grew up doing oval racing, competing in the Xfinity Series, Truck Series for multiple years. Whereas SVG has never been a full-time oval racer. Sure, I think he's done a few dirt starts on ovals, but he's never done a stock car oval anything until 2023. So it's a completely different set of circumstances. It's a completely different situation to anything anyone has seen in recent years. We've seen other international drivers come over like Marcos Ambrose, like Juan Pablo Montoya, But SVG getting a multi-year contract extension here secures his future, gives him a little bit more time to develop on the ovals. He really doesn't need to develop more on the road courses. We've already established that. But it gives him a little bit more relief, I guess, for the rest of this year, looking into next year. Obviously, they're already in the playoffs this season, so they got that to focus on. They got to score some more playoff points. We're going to make his championship case, which, by the way, it's still going to be today, but I'm going to do it after the Truck Series race. So later tonight, we'll do the SVG championship case because, frankly, I didn't really anticipate this. It was literally as I was lining up to make the SVG championship case that this news dropped. Anyways, you guys don't care about this, but this is a big deal for Shane Van Gisbergen because of the job security, obviously, but also it just gives him some more time to develop on ovals. This was never going to be a quick process. This was never going to be he's going to show up and on his second start at an oval, he's going to go lead laps, run in the top 5, and contend for wins. This was going to be a multi-year commitment. This was going to take a few years for Shane Van Gisbergen to develop on the ovals, and he's already made some steps forward. Being more consistent, running in the top 20 on speed, slowly progressing towards the front of the field. He's doing that, and as long as he keeps doing that, as long as he continues to progress, he doesn't plateau, and he starts getting some top 10s. He's still seeking that first oval top 10 in the Cup Series. Once he starts getting there, once he gets it, and then once he starts to figure out the ovals more, then he can become a contender if that day does indeed come. But for now, we know that Shane Van Gisbergen is going to continue in the NASCAR Cup Series for multiple years through at least, I guess that would be 2027. But now unofficially, the Trackhouse lineup for a long time, for at least the next few years, is going to be Ross Chastain, Shane Van Gisbergen, and unofficially, Connor Zilisch. I think that will be announced soon, you would think. But yeah, Trackhouse Racing for 2 straight years had to deal with putting 4 different guys into 3 seats. Well, now it seems like they're going to have their 3 seats filled out for multiple years once that Zilisch announcement does indeed come. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Shane Van Gisbergen staying in the NASCAR Cup Series, staying in the United States of America. Yeah. For at least a few more years. Let me know what your thoughts are. As I said, we got the Truck Series race coming up here soon. I got to wrap this up, put this video out, and then tonight, after the Truck Series race, I will do the Shane Van Gisbergen Championship case video.